Sometimes in ways I don't wish I wasn't.
We're just getting started, folks. So I hope you're ready. Let us know if you can hear everything.
Everybody was just saying how nice they thought it was. See the gardens.
Oh, it's great to have you.
Who Michael is, Harriet, she'll be right back. She'll be right back. So I am going to let you guys go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab you some water.
Okay.
A ballpoint pen?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I'll grab one.
Oh, I'm out of Sharpies. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
What they said they want us to talk for a little bit. Is that what they want us to do?
Well, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Harriet?
I'm fine.
Yeah. You guys don't want to talk. Thank y'all for coming. This is very, very cool. So obviously, Maria will be back in a minute.
Maria has she has brought some preachers. Somebody told her they needed socializing.
Socializing? Some creatures?
Yes.
Okay. They're in the back. All right. We'll have to see what you have.
Yes.
Thank you so
They're
much.
pretty well behaved.
Yeah. What did you think when I suggested doing this book? Was that were you scared of me doing this book? No? It was okay? Okay.
I heard you talk.
I was scared. I was scared. You read that? I was scared asking. I thought, I want to get in trouble.
Well, you didn't get in trouble.
Who you guys have already started reading most of you? Yeah. You haven't started? You're holding on?
I just started reading.
Harriet's book. So I didn't know she was going to write a foreword. I don't know if you knew that. I did not know. I was just suddenly sent it.
Well, it's like getting somebody to certify that it's kosher. If I have my name on it, then it's kosher for
That it's kosher.
the wheel of time.
We'll allow it.
Yeah.
That was a shock for me. What do you got there, Maria?
This is Daniel.
Daniel.
And I asked to bring him to be socialized tonight.
That's 3D printed?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
One individual.
Oh my god.
Except
Everybody's gonna get pictures of it.
That is serious whiskers.
he actually has a lot of fur on it because he lives next to actually roving.
He's got better whiskers than I do. Very impressive.
Whiskers.
Yeah, so I was wearing them. When was that? Was it JordanCon? At JordanCon, and I was masked up. Nobody knew, and I took off my mask to get a drink. Apparently, and they saw it, and then they made these bloody things, and so now I can never shave it.
That's right.
So now I'm just stuck forever.
I mean, you can, but you might get kicked out of the fan club.
Yeah, kicked out of the.
Yes.
Kicked out of the club.
Sorry, I brought props.
You brought props. Yes, you did. What else we got?
This is Narjalina. Lena for short, and I just realized we lost her pacifier. Hopefully she won't cry.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's probably in the car. Nope, it's not.
I'm sharing the stage. That's adorable. Where'd that come from?
Well, when a mommy trollop and a daddy.
I shouldn't have asked. That's a mistake.
April Davis, who is often at JordanCon, gave her to me.
That is impressive.
Her little feature show.
Oh yeah. Extra fur.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a problem.
She's never got to go out of the house, so.
So you glad you bring?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. What questions do you all have? Right? I mean, we don't need to talk amongst ourselves, right? We just want to hear questions from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What questions does anyone have about anything in life in general? The answer is 42. Okay.
The answer is
Harriet, how many books did you have in his studio in the Confederate home?
John Weber,
Yes.
the tour guide of
Well,
great repute. He
How
does
many
lots of
books?
tours for the National Trust.
How many books?
In the Confederate home, I think he had about 5,000,
I think so.
and then they told him he had to get out.
That was cracking.
Yeah, well, sort of. And so he put up a sign during Spoleto that said you can be part of an art event that's happening here. I will put books out by the door and you can take them away. As you take them away, you will become part of the site-specific art. And the funny thing is, nobody took them.
Oh dear.
So, yeah. And he said he moved into the carriage house in the back of our house. At that point, he looked at me. And this is it was the week that Hugo came. So he looked at me as the storm was coming. He said, Harriet, even if we get a divorce, I will not move again as long as I'm married. I said, okay, I'm here.
5,000 books.
5,000.
Yeah. And that was only part of the collection.
Well, it grew.
Yeah.
Once he had a secure place.
Well,
That was well over 10.
When I first started working for him, he still had empty bookshelves. That didn't last very long, so we kept adding more bookshelves. We took out the bathtub so we could put in more bookshelves. We were cataloging the library as best we could, and we were approaching 15,000.
Oh my goodness.
It was a lot of books, and we even had to buy library carts to take the extras on so we could move them and get to the other books. It was pretty amazing.
And I found Jim talking to me, and he was inventing his own system of coding for the books. And I said, have you heard of Mr. Dewey?
Give that a shot. Right? Yeah.
There's this thing called the Dewey.
That was too hard. If I'd had the internet when I was starting out, and that would probably work quite well, but there was no internet yet, or at least not in the carriage house. So I used WordPerfect mail merge and made up my own categories.
We kind of do the same thing here.
Yeah. A whole bunch of those books, we ended up kind of all over the place, but there is a huge tranche of them at the Citadel. I think I might have mentioned that last night in the talk, and a bunch of that is military history stuff. So in my own research, I'll be getting a book from the library and opening it up to do research. Oh my God, that's one of his books. Like, oh wow, he apparently was also looking at the Battle of Agincourt. All right. So yeah, we actually owe a huge debt at the Citadel to that material as well, which is pretty cool.
And he did buy the complete records, United States records. He was already snickering. You tell the story.
I don't remember all the details. I just remember some.
Well, these are the records of the War of the Rebellion, which is the war between the states over here, that war. And they all came shrink-wrapped. And they took up a whole wall in a small room that was part of Tim's office. And after 2 or 3 years, saw that at least half of them were still in shrink wraps. I said, you know, honey, I was always plotting how I could get some books to go away. it never worked very well. But this time I said, I noticed that you really haven't gotten around to them. And he said, well, not yet. And I said, well, I tell you what, I think they would be very useful at the Citadel. And it would be a very good thing for the cadets to have the use of. He said, oh, you're so right. And I had a cousin who was the librarian at the Citadel at the time. And I called her and she met me. I said, meet me at the door with a back, a guy who has a back and a dolly. Because this is a big bunch. I mean, it really wasn't. It was like, three of those sections. And they were, not face out. Anyway, she said, so why, may I ask you, why did he do this? I said, because he cried. And actually, I stole that. I'd read that somebody asked Stephen King why he had turned his basement, I think, into a full library, and he said, with a horror room, because I can. Anyway, she said, when I said that to her, she said, oh, say no more. My husband is that way for antique silver. Even though every closet in our house is full of black and silver, because he doesn't like to polish it.
It defeats the purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway,
And we have that set as well still.
yes.
Yeah. So, complete Civil War records, which is rare to have the full set, which is cool.
Yeah, I think most people get very bored.
Before they get to that many volumes, we have got them all out of shrink wrap.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
That's very special.
That's a big start right there.
Yeah.
A big start. What other questions does anybody have?
Y'all are here, we have.
There's a question from the live chat.
Question from the live.
Specifically for Harriet. Jessica Sadai would like to know if there's anything in the book you're particularly excited about.
Well, I just think Michael has done a wonderful job.
I'm not telling you not to get it.
Can't really say. I don't know.
That's fine. Matt's Dagger would like to know, did Rosamund ask you to do the narration in the audiobook, or did you ask Rosamund?
Oh, Rosamund Pike.
Yes.
So she recorded that little interview
Mhm.
for the audiobook. I don't know what process that got slipped into it. Do you guys know? It was just like,
I remember an email.
yeah. All of a sudden, I was just told, yeah, Rosamund Pike has recorded this. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And they're like, and they said, is that okay?
And you had to think about it, I assume.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's okay. That was again another surprise. Not only that you wrote the foreword, but then that you recorded the foreword.
Yeah.
I wasn't told that until I was in the recording studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in the recording studio. And they're like, "Oh, and Harriet did such a good job." I went, what? What? No, what? I said, yeah, she was just in here yesterday
And I
recording.
was just telling Maria, I had a hell of a time finding the studio here, which is I begin by telling you it is an extremely reputable, very good recording studio.
Yeah.
But the number on this highway, there were no visible numbers, and all I had was the number. And I thought, well, it's got to be in this section, but there seems to be nothing there but the liquor store. And I really don't think they recorded in the vodka or what. So I started down the driveway of the liquor store. Seemed to be some stuff back there, but nothing that had any name on it. I came back on the other side. And I tried something. There was nothing. So I went back and we went into the liquor store. And he said, yeah, the studio is right behind us. I saw you go by. You went right by it. I said, I did. And there was in fact a door and it had a very tiny phone number.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I went in.
yeah. I was a little bit.
Yeah, did you have a hard time?
Yeah, I did, and I was like, what am I walking into? You know, like, It's not like, am I going to be surprised? I'm walking in the back of a liquor store. What's going to happen? Is that we're going to get shot around here? Once inside, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And they did a great job.
Professionally set up.
Yeah, they did a great job. So yeah, I don't know how Rosamund was asked, but yes, it's awesome that she did.
Yes, indeed.
She sounds great. Yeah. Does anybody have the audiobook as well? Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Gosh, that's
I don't get mine, because it's British. I don't get mine until the 11th.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Harry recorded the foreword. I recorded the letter. Michael and Kate, who did the main audiobooks, recorded everything else except for the Old English and Middle English, which I recorded. So that, because they were like, don't teach us to do that. Just
They were really worried about that.
Were they?
When I talked to them at BotCon, they were like, yeah, we looked at that and we're not sure how to address that. And I was like, oh, Michael is great. So, yay.
Yeah, they asked me to do that. I think when it gets to that point or something, whoever it is that's reading introduces me and just says, and here's Michael's going to read this bit. And then I do it. Because, the phonetics for trying to do a passage of Beowulf was not happening. So they were already angry enough at the number of pronunciations they had to do.
Is there an audio book of all 12 volumes? When you say audiobook, I'm not talking.
Of this book, there's an audiobook.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's an audiobook of the entire Wheel of Time.
Really?
Yes.
Well, there are audio books.
Yeah.
One, but
But there-
There's two of
Yeah,
the first book.
Yeah, in fact, now the first book in the series, there's two different audiobooks because there's the original, and now it's being re-recorded by Rosamund Pike, the actress. So there'll be alternative versions.
I really like, yes, but they will both be maintained.
Yeah.
Because I love the first version.
Michael and Kate are fabulous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're good
and they're
people.
part of the family as well.
Really, really cool people.
Rosamund Pike is very nice too, and superstars come and go. But
There you go.
How much did Michael and Kate hate you for having to read a glossary, 150 pages of glossary into an audiobook?
Look, that's really their problem. Their main thing was that the read list, like pronunciation was as bad as the Wheel of Time. I shouldn't say it's bad, like was difficult, right? Right? I mean, so many different names. But then they had the problem of, well, I'm talking through Welsh, and I'm talking through Latin, Greek, and so they have all these different languages, sometimes in medieval forms. And then they had to deal with the problem of multiple spellings. So, Nynaeve, for example, isn't spelled the way that you're familiar with it through the notes. So how do you do that in audiobook? Do you pronounce it a different way? Do you pronounce it the same way but spell it out? Like how do you get that across? And how do you pronounce all these different names that he didn't use? Right? He changed his name or his mind on how this person was going to be called. So now there's all these new words, new names. So the list kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they finally sent me, it was a huge stack, and asked me to sit there recording them all on my iPhone and send them the files as I was recording. So if something's wrong, if the Welsh is wrong, it's my bad. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's how the Welsh is pronounced, but I'm not Welsh, so that's what Welsh scholars do. So yeah, they were a little bit, I think in good fun. I think they were happy, but they were also like,
They were challenged.
yes,
Definitely.
challenged.
But they were willing to tackle.
You got to keep them on their toes,
That's right. That's right. And they were kind of jibing at each other on social media because of who got the worst bit, right? Who had to do more pronunciations. And I think it was, she got the worst bit, and so he was like, when we split it up, you didn't know, but you got stuck with that. Yeah, they were incredible to work with, and the results are amazing. Again, it's something I never would have expected to hear their voices, like doing my work. Yeah.
If you want to tell the Wheel of Time fan, there's a takeaway, the main takeaway from the book. Read this book. because X. Like, what is that thing?
Who are you asking?
I mean, anybody. Just like about.
What's it about? I mean, to me,
elevator pitch.
what's that?
Give us your elevator pitch.
The elevator pitch. So, the thing is, I mean, to me, it's about like unification and progress. And then I look back on what he was doing and his idea of the unification of history, right? Past is future, future's past. And there's a way in which that's meant to kind of, I think, bring people together, not to separate, but to bring people together. And then the kind of progressive visions that he had of kind of what's behind it as an impetus, I think is also really integral to that. So yeah, I think it's very groundbreaking in that regard for its time, and has obviously touched a lot of people because of that. This is what I think it's about. It's just good stuff. It's just good stuff.
You don't have to convince us.
You should try reading it sometime. Start at book 1 and call me when you're done.
We haven't decided whether we're going to buy this book or not.
Oh, you haven't decided? All right.
I got 3 copies, but I haven't decided to read it.
It's only 3.
Only 3.
It's
like,
I didn't know this.
How many copies do you own,
Stop
Michael?
this conversation.
how many do I own? More.
More.
Yeah. I get to give a lot away. Great question. That's a really good question. Is that a defensible answer? I think it's a good answer. Okay.
My question would be, The Wheel of Time is obviously an amazing epic. So many books, so many awesome points in there. What would you say would be one of your most favorite point in the entire series?
Shots fired. Okay, it depends on which hat I'm wearing. Sentimentally, it's honestly this. And I think you guys heard me say this last night. It's honestly the prologue of book 1, because when I was 15 years old, sat down, I read it, fell in love. Boom, that was it. And I never forgot that moment, right? That experience, that feeling, that like it never left me. So, and it goes straight through to here, right? Because I was like, gates of paradise descend. That's the gates of paradise. Oh my God, something's going on. And that's how I've always read the books. So, like my heart, that's there. Action moment, Do My As Wells. That's awesome. Do My As Wells. Moment I'm looking forward to in the TV series. Going through the gate, Red Gate. When Moraine disappears through the Red Gate. That's what I'm most looking forward to in the TV series. The Twisted Doorway. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit before it shows up, but when that happens, that'd be up there.
Are you saying it's going to be a gate and not just a doorway?
Oh Lord. Careful, this is where I am now. Right. When she goes to the doggy door, the theories begin. I mean, but I mean, it's other moments that are special because it's special to that character, right, or that relationship, right? The relationship between Rand and Min. Like, there's special moments in that are favorite moments. So yeah, it's something so big that it's kind of hard to not just start blathering.
Who's your favorite character, and did that change after you researched and wrote this book?
Yes, it changed. My favorite character was Perrin. I was hashtag Team Perrin all the way. In the course of writing the book, I became deeply interested in Nynaeve.
Yes.
Right. You clap now, but wait till I finish that sentence. Who I had not been a huge fan of. And again, part of that's I started reading when I was 15. Weirdly, as a 15-year-old boy, I didn't connect with Nynaeve. I don't know why. Something just wasn't working. So, but like seeing, and if when you read the book, the connection that he had to Nynaeve from the get-go, and understanding the way she was working within the plot arc of the entirety, and that was in place before Perrin was, before any of these other things I thought were so important. That she was in place first. I was like, I'm an idiot, and so now she's like kind of like my favorite character, because when I read, I'm thinking, man, I missed the boat, right? And so I'm just utterly focused on her. So yeah, she's become my favorite character because I'm just enamored of trying to see how I could have missed that as a 15. It's not actually a mystery, but understanding it in a much richer sense, that character. So yeah, she's become a huge favorite. But like all of you, I have lots of favorite characters. Aludra is.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. She blows stuff up. Like, come on. It's not the like. Yeah. Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on like the theme of like gender balance and gender equality in the books?
So I write about that in the book.
Yeah.
I write about that this was something that he was intensely interested in, and this is one of the great underpinnings of it. So I think it's amazing. Like given the time and given what he's trying to do, I think it's absolutely integral to the work. And the fact that he succeeds as well as he did, I think, is again kind of remarkable, and changed, I think, the face of fantasy, because by doing that, sort of shifted the ground for future writers, in the years and years since, to now kind of make that even more possible. Things like N.K. Jemisin, who's I adore her work.
Yeah.
Like there is a stepping stone process that gets us to her, and Jordan was a huge leap forward for that. So I think in terms of kind of literary history, he couldn't be more important in that regard.
We had another question over here. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, is there a particular character name origin that you found surprising or really interesting? Can you talk about that, or I don't know if it's okay. Yeah.
Yesterday I would have been like Raffo. One that I found surprising or interesting.
Yeah.
My favorite is Aludra.
Yeah.
My favorite is Aludra.
All right, calm down, Brian. Calm down.
It's my favorite interest.
Brian's like, yes. Aludra, the kind of story behind her name is, it's cool because my historical bent and stuff like that. I think it's fantastic. It fits so well with her.
Can you say what it is?
Yeah, I'll read it to you.
Yes.
I'll tell you. I'll just do that. Rather than just going through all of them. Ludra Nendenhall. As an illuminator who could make fireworks in the night sky, Aludra fittingly shares the Arabic name, meaning the maiden, long given to a double star in the constellation Canis Major. It's the Big Dipper. Her surname alludes to Thomas Mendenhall, an ensign aboard the brig Nancy in June 1776, who on the orders of his captain created an American flag that was raised up her mast in place of the British one while in port at St. Thomas, the first flying of the American flag in a foreign port. So this is kind of a big deal in history, but it gets better. Just weeks later, hauling gunpowder and chased by British warships, the Nancy was run aground at Turtle Gut Inlet near the mouth of Delaware Bay. The Americans resourcefully removed 265 of the 286 kegs of precious explosive in her hold, then improvised a long fuse to the rest using the ship's sail. When the last sailor off the ship lowered the American flag before he fled, British forces declared victory and hastily boarded. They were killed when the remaining kegs ignited and an explosion felt for miles. I'm like, that's what you used for Aludra? I love it. So that I just love that one because it's got so much going on. And also I wrote the intro and I must have spent 5 hours just reading stuff about Mendenhall, which isn't useful for anybody, right? I'd already written the entry and I was just like, yay. And then I thought, I remember kind of after all these hours being like, what am I doing? Like the clock is ticking. I gotta move on. But then thinking, I bet Jim loved that right now. That I was lost for hours on this event, this little event that nobody hardly knows about, but he knew about. And I was lost in it for like 5 hours. Like that's what he wanted, you know? And so it just, at that moment I was like, yeah, thanks, man. But also I need to move on. I gotta get to the next entry. So yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
If the internet had been around when Jordan started this whole process, how do you think it would have changed? Like, would he have all the notes if he could look up how far a man can travel?
Yeah.
Or things like that?
As it was coming out, as the internet was coming around, did that change much?
Not really, because by that time he was really using me and Alan to look up. I mean, that was, research assistant. That was what Alan was entirely hired for, because I couldn't keep up with Jim, and there was, it's just too much else. But he needed to know what a baby felt when it was being born. That was still when it was me, and I went to the library, and we got the microfiche. I mean, this is before the internet. It's hard to believe there was ever a time before the internet. But and look it up, and when it was how to clean silk in olden days, Alan had to go, but he had the internet, so he could find that. And it was just a lot of things like that. Jim loved looking things up, but not necessarily the book things, of what's the stock market doing and things like that. But it was, he didn't really go down that rabbit hole a whole lot, just wandering around. He was wandering around the internet. He was looking for something specific. And of course, he didn't do any kind of social media because it wasn't really there yet.
Alujo is my favorite character.
Really?
So yeah, I don't know if you know this, but it is. And we were talking about the entry in the book a while back, and one of the questions I asked you, Mike, was, did Robert Jordan, did he have the idea to have the explosion in Carrion and then looked up somebody who caused explosions and then named the character after that person? Or did he already know who, Thomas Mendenhall was and go, oh, I know a guy already? Like, did he need the explosion first, or did he already know the people? Like, how did that work in general?
The chicken or the egg?
Yeah, the chicken or the egg. But like, not just for Alujo, but like in general, did he go, oh, I want to know what silk is because what silk is, how to clean silk because of a character, or was like for a plot point, or was knowing that just something you wanted to know that maybe inspired him to do something else?
There was a cartoon in the New Yorker last week or the week before, and it is a chicken and an egg standing before what is obviously Jehovah's throne, and he is saying to them, just be sure you go at the same time. I think the answer is perhaps lost with Jim.
Yeah, it could easily be. I mean, he had so many books on history, and he read, he really read them. He loved reading history, and he remembered things very well. So he could have, I'm going to do that. Or it could have been the other way. But
And he was very interested in the fact that the first use of gunpowder was fireworks in China, not a destructive thing. And he found that very interesting, as a matter of fact.
So kind of both. Like sometimes you would just know something and want to work it into a story, and then sometimes stories wanted to do something you either already know or ask you to look something up.
Right. And remember, I didn't start working for him. He was already almost finished with book 7 when I started working for him. So I have no idea for those first books. And the Apple IIe computer, I think it was, stopped working, so we couldn't really access the older stuff, the notes that he had.
And certainly from the stuff that there is, it looks like it's book. You know, just as they're saying.
Yeah.
There are some where you can see, yeah, he knows he's going to work this in somewhere, and then later on, oh, there it showed up. And then other things, it looks like, yeah, because it's this, now I'm going to do that.
And ever so often I would be talking to him and he said, I just figured out I did something really good. He would never tell me, but I've got something set up and it hadn't been something on the top of his head. But he loved it when he realized he had worked something out so it would work perfectly.
For Maria, was there an entry where when you read it, you were like, oh, that's where you got it from and you were surprised by or really liked?
There were a lot of them. But okay, there was one, the last note in the book. It's a my story.
Yeah. I actually told a bunch of them last time, but you can tell them the story.
So I was going through the book and I got to the end of all the words on one day, and Samai was the next to last entry, and it read about how that was the only word where Robert Jordan simply changed the order of the letters in a word. And that made sense to me. I went home. I sat down to watch Jeopardy, as is my wont. Amy was on then. And I think it was the top question. And Ken Jennings's CMA's is the biological name for this American crop. And Amy is, what is maize? She didn't sound certain. I'm like, what? I kind of may have started jumping up and down a little bit and scared my son. And I'm writing down as fast as I can, and it was just like, no, he didn't just rearrange the letters. And it was just, that it happened that very day. And the person who read the answer was Brandon Sanderson's roommate at one time. It was just like the wheel. It does really move as it moves.
And then you sent me the email. I don't know if I told you when I got the email for that. I was jumping up and down in my office because they're at the desk because it had like so kind of quietly bothered me that he had rearranged the letters. I was like, that's not how he does anything, but that's what it is, And so I had to find out it was something else. I was like, yes, that's fantastic. I was so happy to do that, and then to change it so that now the footnote is the last bit of the main text, and the footnote is telling that story. So Maria's like the final thing there in the book. Made me very happy.
Do you think, speaking of Sanderson, do you think he shined a light on anything differently that Jim would have interpreted, or did you keep him to the canon?
I think he did a wonderful job.
I agree.
Yeah. No, but I don't know if
He's asking
with another
about
writer
Brandon.
person,
Did Brandon stay true to Jim's story?
Well, not so much that, but did he bring in light on any aspects that, as a new writer, Jim he had already said it in his mind? I think.
It's hard to say. That's a great question. It's hard to say because of you kind of begin to have this sort of like, well, the notes are what they are. Brandon is who he is, right? And in that synergy, yeah, there's going to be kind of new spark, I think, inevitably. And some of those things are quite brilliant. In talking to Brandon, for the book, for instance, the idea of Shara coming into the end of things. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
My bad. He's like, that kind of came, from Team Jordan and working that stuff out. But he was like, but I'm pretty darn sure that's what he would have done because everything was already kind of going towards that anyway. So even though there wasn't a smoking gun that's what it was going to be, that made too much sense, for it probably not to have ended up that way anyway. And then it kind of came out of the meeting of minds between Brandon and Harriet, Maria and Alan, and so everybody coming together to get a kind of coherent vision. So yeah, I think it'd be kind of hard to say if is that really new at that point or an inevitable working out, as it were. Yeah, it's a good question. Brent did an amazing job. He really did. Really did.
We have some more questions from the live. This is for Maria and Harriet. Were there any things that came up during Michael's research that you had forgotten and was, I suppose, happy to remember or found amusing to remember?
In my case, lots.
But there was one part I was reading, I think it was Bashir's entry. And I was like, oh, he left something out. Because it was once upon a time, I was at a Bible study and we were just going along and there's something about Tyre and Sidon. And I was like, that's where Jim got it. And everybody else at the Bible study is like, what? But Bashir was Lord of Tyre and Sidonia. So I wrote Michael all smug. And Michael wrote me back and said, you're going to love this Aldea entry. And I looked at it and there it was. So I had mostly forgotten that, but suddenly it appeared out of nowhere, but he had it already. So that was cool.
Which, like, at that, when those kind of things would happen, I'm like, oh, good, I got, like it felt very reconfirming, right? To be like, well, okay, I've got this from the notes, and I got this, and I put it together, and it means this. And then, for Maria or Harriet to be like, and it's this, and I'm like, yay! Like, it worked out. 2 + 2 = 4. Yes! Yes! Yeah, I forgot about that. That was a good one.
Another question, without referencing who or what in the books, so people can be spoiler free on it. Was there any myths or cultural references that surprised you that Jim used?
Me?
Yeah.
That surprised me? No. And I don't want to sound like cocky in that. By the time I'm writing this book, I had such a good sense of how profoundly, like the profound depth of his mind and with those, right? That he had all of this stuff. So it wasn't shocking that he would have grabbed something from this little bit over here, that little bit. It became like, well, yeah, what would he go to? He'd go to these things. There it is. Because he knew all that stuff. So it was just constantly kind of reaffirming of what an extraordinary mind to hold all that. Which at one point would have surprised me, but yeah, at this point it's like, no, that's him. He's that good. Yeah.
For Harriet, what character in the books would you say is most reflective of Mr. Jordan? Like, who represents him the best, if anyone?
Well, they all do. There's Perrin, who I love because he had many characteristics of Jim, but so did Pat and Fane. And Marnie. It's hard to say. Sometimes he'd come lurching in the kitchen door after he'd been writing all day and come into the door like this. And I remember one night when he was doing that, he said, you have been writing Pat and Fane, haven't you? I said, how did you know? I said, well, come on in, honey.
Did you show them the display in the library?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then there's a display at the side of the library that has a lot of mementos of Jim. And there is a turtle shell in there. And does anybody know why? Okay.
Why on the books or why?
Why is the turtle shell in there? I always loved it because there's a point where Matt, my favorite book character, is talking to Oliver about collecting turtle shells. Jim had an entire shelf of turtle shells that he loved. And so that was like how he resembled Matt to me. So I actually much to Harriet's astonishment, said, "We need to put this in." And she's like, "Why?" And then I explained. She said, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all still on display. Yeah, they all got to see it yesterday, which was wonderful. Just as the cadets do. Yes.
Having been a fancy 215 and already being a scholar before you really took on this project, having done the project now, is there anything that you knew that you were able to take to influence you towards your future works in writing, or do you think you already got all you could just in storytelling and planning and everything?
So is there anything in this that
That further influenced how you build stories?
yeah, that further influence how I write as a writer kind of moving forward? Yes. you can't get this kind of deep into somebody's into another writer's mind and not have that like affect you, right? I mean, if it did, I wouldn't have done my job correctly. So yes, absolutely. I have no idea what that's going to look like because I haven't had time to like step back and now work on something new. I finished this book and had like a month to write the third book of the Seaborn series. And while I was doing that, I was doing copy edits, and then I had to write it. Like so, I haven't had a break. So it hasn't. Like I haven't had time to really be conscious. I mean, I'm sure it's already happened, right? I'm just not conscious of it because I'm just every day like must get more words. But yes, come January, I'll have 2 more books in, and I'll be able to take a break. And I'm very much looking forward then to being like, okay, deep breath. What on earth did I just experience? What did it do to me? But yes, it will happen. Yeah. We have time for one more question, then we'll just do signing. Some books out.
So a follow up to that, which is you don't need a break. We need a second Origins book. Is that going to happen?
That's above my pay grade. What's that?
The we origin.
The we, yeah.
I'm gonna take the first row. If you want to stand up, you'll go first, and we're just gonna pass it on down.
Cult's a good word. Yeah. No, we're just here for the signing. We came together, so we thought we'd have fun and get t-shirts together.
For the Michael Livingston fan club.
Yeah. We've got the pins and everything.
Yes. You need a pen?
It worked out.
Oh, yeah.
Just be an app. It's just app.
That was my first real book job. That's so cool. So are you? I love it.
Thank you.
If it's Dash, we'll ask.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. On there.
So like even the color.
Yeah, it's really.
It's like
Oh, they're different. I didn't realize how different they
Very
were.
different. Yeah.
Which one is
There had to be ones that like are not actually related.
I enjoyed writing that one. Oh.
my chair.
She teaches
the last one.
Yeah.
Very last one.
She told me no.
Yeah.
Still alive.
Yeah, Curdy, you can say hello. That way,
He really wish
like, I just, I want to copy you.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fine. But just let them enjoy it. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
You're on screen.
I'll be talking to Matt tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow night. Okay. Just do my second. Okay.
I would be on it, but I'm fine.
All right. I'll take your word.
Here,
I'm glad that I got it. Just
Yeah,
in case something happens.
I read the prequel 3 times.
You're still alive. Like really good seats for that. But now it's not. Because we just be in the way. Oh yeah. Well, and everybody's fucking. Especially after our conversation last night. It's so crazy.
He's like, I know. He's back there. He's section.
Oh, yeah, he's always sneaky.
So what's that? Oh, yeah. There he is. So he's.
Look.
Yeah.
So it's a Shirley's
Yes.
has penetrated Charleston.
Yeah, she has. Charlie's has penetrated Charleston. Absolutely.
Oh,
I'm like, where?
Unless you want to say
It's really hard to tell when it's
Yeah.
Oh, you did Walter Eggers?
He's talking about that.
Yeah.
Did you do?
That's my thank you so much.
Yeah, we're trying to.
We
saw how you make my
You know, I put my mouth back.
No, I just want to be sure it is, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you can put it on.
You're my favorite student? Okay.
Actually live up in this, and I'm looking at films back.
Not just us.
He was a good student. I would say that. I did. Yeah. I'm hoping to get out to Moab with some. Yeah.
Come talk to me.
Okay.
You've had your book signed.
I got the companion signed
Right.
and 2 copies of
Oh,
Origins.
oh, the video disappeared. 1 second.
Oh no! What you
Oh
do?
no, the video. It'll come back. I'll fix it. See, this camera when I tested it was great, and now it breaks.
That's a
Level
bubble
of evil. Happens all the time. There it goes. Okay. But oh no, it's turned the other camera on.
Oh, no.
That's not the camera we need.
Camera was like, we're finished.
Yeah, basically.
Done
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
We're back. Okay. So we'll turn. Okay.
Here we go.
So pretty. Yeah, you got the companion.
I got the companion and 2 copies of Origins, just for good measure.
2 in case you want to read and want to keep.
Well, yeah, in case one catches fire or something, I'll have 2. Or if I have a bubble of evil.
Yes.
Yeah, in case somebody breaks into my house and steals 1 without knowing I have 2, I'll have the extra.
Keep them separate.
I do. No, I do. I have 2 different bookshelves, so I know exactly where they're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you planned that out?
I actually just made the decision tonight, but now I feel really confident about it.
I love that. That's great. Sharnice, come join. How many books did you get signed?
So I got hi. I got my one of my copies of the Eye of the World signed. I got one of my copies. I have 2 copies of the companion. So I got the hardcover copy signed, and then I'll I read the soft cover.
Okay.
And only 1 copy of Origins, because my other copy is in front of my door, having been delivered by Amazon earlier today.
Nice.
So yeah, so that one's getting. I don't know which one I'm gonna read.
Okay. Yeah. Which secret are we most excited to read about? Is it the Comey or?
That was the
Well,
one for
that's
me
the-
that had the most hype. Because
Yeah.
that's the only one I really know.
Well, that's the only one I know that I'm
Yeah.
gonna find out. So
Okay.
I'm sure there's gonna be something that I'm gonna read, and it would be like, oh snap! I never knew to even know that this was a thing. But Nakomi, definitely excited for that.
I also didn't know we were getting a lot of like what I will classify as sentimental like backstory early on, and so that I loved. I'm a softie in that way. So yeah, look forward to that if you haven't read it. It's in chapter 1.
There we go. Yeah, the foreword. I've read the foreword, and it's.
I read the forward sitting here, and I was just
Yeah, both of them, both Harriet's and Michael's, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're both here for ObiaCon as well.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes, obviously, we're repping, folks. We're a cult. Other people have asked us.
It's a family reunion
It's
shirt.
a family reunion shirt. Yes. So, have we had fun on the trip?
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So I'm so tired, but it's been so worth it.
No, but it's
Yeah.
we're on adrenaline right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tonight at like midnight, I'm gonna
Yeah.
just
You
die.
drove like 12 million hours.
Yeah, like
You
a
changed your
million,
flight,
100
worked
million
on one of
hours.
the days.
I did. Yeah, I worked on one of the days from Charleston, so I could be here for the talk last night.
That's amazing. And it was a great talk.
It was an awesome talk.
Yeah, and then we saw RJ's desk and we sat in his chair.
We sat in Robert Jordan's chair
at his desk.
At his desk.
Hashtag bless.
Yeah. It was amazing.
I have lived.
Would you like to join? Hello? We are live on YouTube now. Your name is?
Max.
Max.
Price.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Max. And you've been reading Wheel of Time how long?
Actually, I finished it back in high school.
Nice. Okay.
All in, I read 12 out of 14 of the books in just 1 year.
Wow. That's really fast.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yes, I'm still surprised I managed to pull that off.
That's good. And you're excited for the Origins book, obviously?
Yes, I am very excited. I always knew Arthurian lore was a primary inspiration, but it's good to know the individual inspirations for each character, place, and event in the series. So
That's the bit you're most interested to read about?
yes,
Nice. You know, Nakomi, you're not worried about?
No, I'm just glad to have a
That's
copy of
great.
this book.
That's awesome.
Yes.
You didn't free. Are you just having the one copy? I know some people have ordered like 2 or 3.
I'm just getting one copy.
Just the one copy. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you're totally fine. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I will let you go enjoy and read it.
Thank you.
Thank you for hopping on telling us. So I
Yes,
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Loyal's Library. We're in a bookstore right now.
We are in a bookstore.
Come join me.
This is
Come join me. This is Loyal's Library, folks. We're in a bookstore.
Hi, everyone.
He's at home. Although you cooked with me this morning, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
I can throw down in the kitchen.
What do we have? Biscuits and gravy?
Biscuits and gravy. Some specialty sausage that they usually get around Thanksgiving.
Nice.
It was a good time. Yeah.
Go for it. That's amazing.
So any place with a large collection of books is definitely my happy place.
Yes, I agree. So how many? Now I know you've got more than one copy of the books. How many do you have?
I have one that's sitting on my back doorstep right now at home.
Lovely.
I have one in this bag that has been signed.
Wonderful.
And I need to reactivate my Audible account so that I can get the audiobook as well.
Michael was saying
and then
that's
we'll see what happens.
Did you get a personalized in the signature, or did you just get the signature?
Just a straight signature
Just a straight
for all of
signature.
them.
That's cool.
I got the companion signed as well as the Eye of the World.
Amazing. Okay, that's brilliant. Like a lot of people have brought multiple books.
Yeah.
You know, so I see even people that weren't here for a GayCon like have got 2 or 3 books, which is very cool. So,
Yeah,
and
it's one of-
have you enjoyed OGayCon?
It's been an absolute fast, but
Yeah.
it's all because of the people.
Yeah, this is true. It's been a lot of fun. Omar
And there's
brought
a-
snacks.
Oh, of course he did.
Omar, you, 1 second. Let me just chit. Look at this, folks. Look, this is such an Omar move right now. Look, Omar, tell us. Right, come on. We're on camera right now, and I'm mobile on the mic, so we're gonna talk. You brought snacks. What have you brought?
No, I bought it from the
You
Starbucks.
Of course
they
you
gave
did.
us some samples, and it was really good. So I'm like, we need some of this.
Oh, so the sampling works. Nice. They suckered you in. You go. You were. Wait, capitalism. Yay. Omar, you have a whole bag of books. Am I allowed to say why you have a whole bag of books?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Why do you have a whole bag of books?
We're gonna give one away on Facebook and one on Discord.
Nice.
They're signed by Michael Livingston, Harriet McDougall, and Maria Simmons.
Amazing. So, folks, if you're not in the What Series Discord or in their Facebook group, you need to go there, and then you can be in a chance. Is it anywhere in the world? Is this?
Huh?
Are you doing an Amazon US only, or
No, anywhere in the world.
anywhere in the world? I love that. That's amazing. So, Zul, how's the food?
I don't know.
I got there quick. It does smell good from here. So,
Smells
super cool. Leia, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You've just got my book signed for me.
I did.
Oh, I got to turn the camera back around.
Ah,
There we
people have seen
go.
enough of me.
No. Yay! Thank you so much. So, to Rob. What does I say? Hey. Okay. Very cool. That's amazing. Yay! And then I got a special book last night from Michael because I'd come the furthest, and so he gave me a book and signed it to the man who came from Manchester.
Which is
So-
exciting.
So what did you get in your books? Did you just get signatures? Did you ask for something?
I was one of the first people, and I just blanked and just
You
So,
didn't
but I
ask
was
anything?
able to show Maria. Actually, Critter, will you pass me my big white book, please?
Oh, the big white book.
Yeah. So there's actually a story behind this one.
Okay. Wonderful. We'll trade.
Before
We'll trade.
the July Jordan Con a year and a half, 2 years ago. How
Okay.
many ever years ago that was?
That was a while ago.
The day before, I was just walking around DC, and as I do when I run errands, and people just leave things on the sidewalk for free for people to pick up.
Okay.
And this was in a box.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it's like, squeed, of course.
Of course, yes.
Threw it in my suitcase, brought it to Jordan Con. Not Jordan. Wow, that would have been cool. Weird. Sanderson was actually there, so he agreed to sign it. Flips open to a page,
Oh.
and I hadn't realized that the previous owner had taken very poor care of this. So as you can see,
Look at
it
this,
was
folks.
crushed flowers, which I was just mortified.
Little higher up.
Oops.
There we go.
Mortified.
Look at
But then he signed, doesn't skip a beat, and signs Bubble of Evil.
There we go.
And then his name.
That's
so
amazing.
It went from a horrible story to a great story.
That's a great story,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so and then Maria signed the index.
Oh, nice.
That was the first thing she said she worked on.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And like, aside from the flower pressing, this book's in pretty great condition.
bad,
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
Yeah.
So,
Again, there are lots.
there's a lot of flower pressing going on in here, folks. Some big bubble.
Didn't appreciate the art.
Well, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So, folks, if you do flower pressing in your books, wax paper. Tips. I love this. It's not just a book signing, folks. Yeah. Don't ruin books. Don't ruin books. We love books. So I'll let you go enjoy. I'm gonna steal. I don't know who we can steal. I'm just seeing a lot of smiling faces now. This is like really sweet. If you just let me turn it around, you can see. So there's still plenty of people in the queue. There's like another half dozen to go around. And then Zul. Oh, that's very fancy there, Zul. See Zul there, folks? Omar just blocked us. You're in front of the So, folks, we're going to get secret for a second here. There's lots of stuff going on over here. Like the Lights Work podcast, they've been doing some stuff. There's bags, we got all sorts. So I'm letting you in on a secret because they don't know yet. We're going to do some things. Okay, so yeah, I can see them all planning here away. We have stuff planned, so this is going to be exciting. But yeah, we're getting there. People are still signing. This is beautiful. Sorry, I've been ignoring chat, by the way, folks. So, Shanice is in chat as well as... Shanice, are you in chat as well? That's amazing. I love this. Shanice is in chat. Carolyn Reiser. Oh, do you know what, Carolyn? They might be here. I don't know. Just rush. Maybe you can get here. Hopefully they'll still be around. So let me just go through the comments here. It's I've missed a lot while I've been talking to people. So this is all right. So just everyone really, really happy. This is amazing. Okay, folks, the Lights Work podcast they're getting some stuff together now. Let's see if I can turn the camera without. You can't quite see Grace is hiding stuff. They see little black bag. So yeah, it's going to be some fun. Hopefully, I'm going to talk to Michael afterwards. So we'll see how we're doing. I'm running on a battery because there's no plugs in this bookshelf. So we'll see how long that lasts as well. Fingers crossed. So we're almost there, Carolyn, if you're coming. Quick. Hopefully we'll try and keep them. Someone's trying to get here. They're in live chat. I'm 15 minutes away. Can I get there? And I'm like, Carolyn, hurry up, please. Yeah. So she's on it apparently. So yeah, quick, someone find a Harry Potter and get it signed. Can you just go through and be like, hi, can you sign my shirt? We're trying to buy time for Carolyn here, so. It is, yes. Oh, okay. Things are happening. Oh, there we go, folks. You can see across Grace and Anis over there. There we go. They've got a couple of goodies. They're working on things. So we put together little goodie bags for everyone who came to OgearCon. There was the t-shirts. There were some other things. And we put together bags for Michael, Maria, and Harriet so that they can enjoy the fun with us as well. So they get t-shirts, they get badges, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to hand those out. So I'm going to stand to one side, folks, so you can see. I'm going to go walking, folks. So if someone blocks the camera, I'm sorry. I'm going to go so we can catch everything. Are we excited? Are we excited? Who doesn't love a secret? We do love secrets here. They can see you on the camera over there.
And I'm dancing around.
Yes. I've told them we've got bags, but not the other secrets. Okay. The other secrets. There's always another secret. I know.
It's true.
We're having too much fun right now.
I should have been asking.
I've come so we can capture it on the mic properly, folks. So, as is needed.
You come to support us.
Thank you.
I've made sure that we can be seen very clearly on camera so the folks at home can enjoy, even though they can't see us right now, thanks to Leia. Okay. Do we have... Okay, we have everything. Lovely. This is good.
Not the worst thing that's ever happened in my feet.
Like start eating these.
Yes, that's a good... So, yeah, like... Oh, okay, here we go.
All of us at Over Your got you all t-shirts.
This is for you. This is
Thanks
for
for being
Kayla.
part of our Inkeeper video, our mural video that we made. And some stuff from our new podcast, which is all about doing stuff like this. So,
Oh, I can look this up.
yeah. Yeah, there's one for you and for your wife. Yeah.
Oh goodness, thank you guys.
Of course, yeah. And yeah, you all have a t-shirt.
I'm so glad because I was thinking.
They are really good t-shirts.
They're very nice
And they're
t-shirts.
very soft.
Very
I'd put it on now, but I don't think anybody wants to see that. So yeah, thank
That'd
you.
be fine with all. Thank you.
And then
I guess so.
1, 2,
3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michael. Happy birthday to you. You see the blush, folks. Look at that. It's beautiful. We love the blush.
Thank you.
This is because you sneakily tweeted yesterday your birthday was the day previous.
I thought I was safe. Oh, you guys. Oh, this is to Maria. Thank you all so much. You all are way, way, way too kind. Not for them, but for me. Now, Maria, you need to no.
I don't need to sign.
You need to sign it?
But
One
I would
more
like
that
Harriet
needs to
to.
be personalized for John. We had to leave early.
For John.
Yes.
For John, who needs to leave early.
This is lovely, y'all. I
Look,
go to
wonderful.
exercise twice a week. This will be.
there's a pin in there that's that you should look at. It's like a badge.
Oh, a badge in the bag?
Oh!
So you will.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
That's how they do parties in Taiwan. DRY and take it.
My pins, so I don't even have to hold it. My wireless stash.
That's my vote.
Oh.
You may know her. She's
The wireless stash is a beautiful thing.
The shirt.
It's a trend. It's a trend.
It's a sign. I just want to be.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yes.
Order with the party.
Yes.
I did the business side, so now it's time for the party side.
This is like my hair's a mess.
It's for the mustache.
That's on? Yes. Do you want mine? Oh. No hats.
You want?
You'll be right there. You have to move it all.
You want a picture of the back of our heads?
No, stand behind you.
Oh, I mean, that makes more sense.
Does the blush extend all the way back?
Yeah, we'll do without mustaches first.
Oh, without. Okay. Okay. Little people in the front. Little people in the front.
Without first.
And then with. We don't call ourselves his fan club for without a reason. So. Mine fell off. Sorry, shinies. Okay, can you get me the thing as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Retake.
Oh, we need to retake?
Operator error.
Operator error. Oh, okay. Is that a bubble of evil? Okay. All right. All right. Come on. Is this? I'm gonna.
Halo's going over.
Okay, I can see little faces with little squares. That looks pretty clear. Let's do that again. All right, mustaches.
Mustaches.
Part of our mind.
I love it. And Michael, if you'll humor me for one moment more. One moment more. As they like to say, there's always another secret. So I have a surprise for you as well. You might have remembered I tweeted when you said about this event. I said, well, I need to quit my job and fly over. You responded to me and said something. Do you remember what you said? You requested that I bring something.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No,
You requested I bring you a bottle of gin.
you didn't.
So we did.
No way. My precious. My precious. Oh, thank you so much. Oh. It smells like whales. Oh.
You just save that for 3
I mean, if you want to start now and keep, start the party.
Well, I'm allowed to drink in the store. But,
Probably not, yeah.
The last Bones Lake podcast I did with Kelly. Hi, Kelly. That was what I was. That was the drink of choice. Was breakfast. Oh, so good.
Yeah, so the lesson here is never tease a Watt fan because they'll do it.
No, the answer is
actually do it and you get gin. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's very squee-worthy, I think.
It was squee-worthy, yes.
Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure, honestly.
Thank you. That's awesome. Okay. I have not done with that one. John is signed.
Yeah, this is John. All right.
We all want his person. Should I?
You are so lucky I didn't just
You're right in the corner there, Brian, like perfectly in the corner of the street. There we go. The eyebrows, folks. Look at those. Brian, the stashes were your idea. Was it your idea or Teresa's idea? It was your idea, wasn't it? Yeah, they're brilliant. So I loved it. I feel. Hey.
I like your shirt. Thanks.
So, one question. Have you read The Wheel of Time?
Yes.
And
you have a choice.
I mean, I was never.
It was really sad because he was still young and had a little trouble reading these big fat books.
Sure.
But we were driving to DC all the time, so we got the actual. What was it?
Cassettes?
Books on CDs. CDs.
Oh my goodness.
And so that's how he got the first few, and then we finished them.
Eventually, I just got to the point where I fell asleep in the car.
By osmosis, you got some of it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're ever if you ever watch the Dusty Wheel,
I have not seen. I think I've heard bits of it.
yeah. If you ever watch the Dusty Wheel and you get in the live chat, just say hi. I'm Maria's son. Met you in Charleston.
I met those green T-shirt strange people.
So, up in Philly. Alan and I missed them.
He said he was
Uh,
going to be here.
The other one.
John. So could it be green and not match?
I do know we have a tag.
The green is cool, Michael. The man from Manchester says so. Exactly.
Nailed it.
All right, folks, we're going to call it there. I hope you've enjoyed joining us and the book signing. You squeed, we sang happy birthday. We told people we were a cult, apparently. Not sure about that. But yeah.
She'll sign one. We want to sign one more.
Sure. The books keep appearing. Maybe we won't go.
The other big black book I don't have versions.
Like a book card.
Big blue book.
Still beautiful though.
Not the lady in Carolina. No. I don't know actually. I haven't seen anything in chat, but if she's driving, she might be. Carolina, if you're almost here, you might be in time if you rush.
Let's do that, or they have to more.
Guys, I want to just thank everybody for coming. You really made this a great event. Just for me as a bookseller, it's the fun of seeing people enjoy a series that's been around for so long is wonderful. Thanks for coming.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.